Mabuhay, good day to each and everyone. We're back once again for another round of learning about Philippine tourism laws. So this is your girl, Maria Ellen P. Onyot of BSSM 3A. So for this presentation, we will discuss about the Chapter 14 Insurance Laws. So in the world of tourism and hospitality, risk is always present, whether it's a fire in a hotel, an accident involving a tour van, or even natural disaster affecting a resort. So that's where insurance comes in. So in this presentation, we'll cover first topic, or like this topic is first is what insurance is under Philippine law, what makes an insurance contract valid, third is what insurable interest means, and the role of beneficiaries and key types of insurance like fire, marine, motor vehicle, and war risk insurance. So now let's talk about the learning objectives, and at the end of this lesson, students are expected to first, enumerate items that can be insured by a tourism establishment. Second is identify the rationale behind the concept of insurance. Third is explain the different kinds of insurance. And lastly is identify the advantages and disadvantages of having insurance. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started. So now, let's talk about the concept and the definition of insurance. So what is insurance? At its core, insurance is a contract between two parties. One party is the insurer, typically an insurance company, while the other is the insured, which can be an individual or a business. So the insurer agrees to provide financial compensation or support in the event of specific loss, such as damage, theft, illness, or an accident. In return, the insured pays a regular fee known as a premium. In the tourism and hospitality industry, insurance plays as a vital role as it offers peace of mind to travelers by protecting them against unexpected situations like trip cancellations, lost luggage, or medical emergencies abroad. For businesses such as hotels, resorts, or tour operators, insurance provides financial protection from risks like property damage, natural disasters, or liability claims from guests. So for example, a hotel may insure its property against fire or theft, while a tour bus company might have liability coverage in case of road accidents. So these safety nets help ensure that operations can continue smoothly even when unforeseen issues arise. Insurance helps both travelers and tourism businesses feel more secure, making the entire travel experience safer, more reliable, and more enjoyable. Now let's move further of another topic, which is the contract of insurance under the section 2.1. So under section 2, paragraph 1 of the insurance code, a contract of insurance is defined as an agreement whereby one undertakes for consideration to indemnify another against loss, damage, or liability arising from a known or contingent event. So let's simplify that. So there's an agreement and there's a payment, which is the premium. And the insurance covers a possible future loss, in which the event must be uncertain, the loss must be measurable, and the insurer must promise to compensate when the event occurs. So with that, we will talk about the essential elements and characteristics to make the the insurance contract as valid. So the essential elements of an insurance contract are first, it must be insurable interest. Second, the existence of risk. Third is assumption of such risk by the insurer. And fourth is said assumption being part of a general scheme to distribute actual losses among those bearing similar risks. And lastly is the payment of premium. So we also have the characteristics of an insurance contract. And these are first, the aleatory, in which there is an element of risk. So an aleatory contract is one where the obligations depends upon the occurrence of an uncertain event, as in the case of fire insurance, or one certain to happen but at an indeterminate time. An example is that in life insurance. Second is the contract of indemnity. So there is an exchange of value for value, particularly in property insurance. Second is the owner rules, in which there is a valuable consideration given, in which is a payment of premium. Fourth is the bilateral. Both parties are bound to do something. And lastly is formal. So as to form, a policy is required to be issued and the premium must be paid. So now we will talk about the parties in an insurance contract, and these are first is the insurer, in which these are the person, partnership association, or corporation duly authorized to transact an insurance business. Second is the insured, a person with an insurable interest who stands to benefit from a policy of insurance, and in its strict sense, the insured party is the owner or purchaser of the policy, even though benefit of the insurance may accrue to someone else. Third is the beneficiary. This is the person designated by the terms of the policy to receive the proceeds of the insurance policy upon the happening of the event insured against. It is the person named in an insurance policy as the one to receive proceeds or benefits accruing thereunder. Right? So let's talk another topic, which is the insurable interest. So what is insurable interest? So this is your financial or legal stake in the person or thing being insured. If you suffer a loss from damage to it, you have an insurable interest. So what are the examples for this? Like it is, you can insure your home, your business, your employees because their loss affects you. So you cannot insure a stranger's property or life unless you have a valid or relationship or legal reason to do so. So according to sections 10 to 15 of the Insurance Code, in property insurance, insurable interest must exist at the time of the policy and at the time of the loss. In life insurance, it only needs to exist when the policy is issued. So, what are the examples that you can insure of? First is yourself, your spouse, your children, your business partners, or your business itself, the creditors and debtors on your business, your employers and employees, and without insurable interest, the contract is void. And now let's talk about group insurance and property insurance. So, in the tourism and hospitality industry, managing risk is essential. One of the most practical ways businesses do this is through group insurance. So, group insurance is a single policy that covers a group of individuals, usually employees, under one master plan. So, instead of purchasing separate policies for every staff member, companies like hotels, resorts, and travel agencies insure all employees under a unified policy. So, this method is not only cost effective, but it also ensures that all team members, from managers to maintenance, are protected. It often includes health, life, and accident insurance, and can sometimes include disability or hospitalization coverage. So employers benefit by reducing administrative costs, and employees feel more secure knowing they're covered, especially important in high-stress people facing roles like hospitality. So now let's talk further about property insurance. So in tourism, property insurance protects physical assets such as buildings, equipment, and facilities. So this is crucial for hotels, resorts, restaurants, and other tourism-related establishments. So what is important to understand is that anyone with a financial stake in the property, whether they are the owner, a lessor, or a tenant, can legally insure it. So this is called having an insurable interest. So for example, a hotel owner might insure the entire property, or a restaurant tenant inside that hotel may insure their kitchen, equipment, and dining space. Another example is a resort leasing out water sports gear may insure the jet skis and boats. So property insurance covers damages from fire, theft, vandalism, and natural disasters, which is especially important in a country like the Philippines where typhoons and earthquakes are common. So having this insurance not only protects the business financially, It is also often a requirement by law, lenders, or investors. Now let's talk about a key part of any insurance policy, the beneficiaries. So beneficiary is the person or group who receives the insurance payout when the insured person passes away or when the insurance claim matures. This could be a spouse, child, a parent, or anyone in the insured designates. So under Section 18 of the Philippine Insurance Code, any person may legally be named as a beneficiary as long as the designation is not against the law, public policy, or good morals. So for example, naming a spouse or child is perfectly valid, but naming an extramarital partner or someone involved in an illegal activity may be considered void by the courts. So the law aims to ensure that insurance proceeds go to someone with a legitimate and morally acceptable interest in the insured's life or property. Now, under Section 19, beneficiaries are classified into two types. First is the revocable beneficiary, in which this means that the insured can change or remove the beneficiary at any time without needing their permission. It gives the policyholder full control over the designation. Second is the irrevocable beneficiary. Once designated, the policyholder cannot make any changes to the beneficiary without their written consent. This type of designation offers stronger protection, especially for dependents or legitimate heirs, ensuring they receive the benefits no matter what happens later. So for example, if someone names their spouse as an irrevocable beneficiary, they cannot later remove the spouse from the policy without getting their approval, even in the case of separation. So this legal framework helps protect the financial interests of rightful dependents, especially in situations where disputes or conflicts might arise. Let's talk about types of insurance. So let's begin with marine insurance. So marine insurance, as defined under Section 99 of the Insurance Code, in which marine insurance provides protection for ships, cargo, and sea transport operations. It covers losses or damages caused by storms, collisions, piracy, and theft during transit. For the tourism industry, this is particularly important for businesses offering island hopping tours, cruise services, or transporting goods across different islands. In a country like the Philippines, with over 7,000 islands, marine transport is essential, and so is marine insurance. So without it, one strong typhoon or port accident could result in millions in losses for tour operators, cruise providers, or logistic companies involved in tourism. Next is fire insurance. This is covered under Section 167 of the Insurance Code. So this policy protects tourism businesses from losses caused by fire, and for a hotel, resort, or restaurant, this can mean coverage for first, structural damage to the building, destruction of equipment and furniture, loss of income during repair or business interruption, and fire insurance is not only smart, it is often required by local government units to get or renew a business permit. This type of insurance provides peace of mind for business owners, employees, and guests, ensuring that even in the face of a disaster, the business can recover. Next, we will talk about the motor vehicle liability under Section 373 on the Insurance Code. So motor vehicle liability insurance, or also known as compulsory third-party liability or CTPL, under Section 373. So this insurance is mandatory by law for all motor vehicles in the Philippines. It provides financial protection in case that the vehicle causes injury or death to third parties, meaning pedestrians, passengers, or other drivers. So for the tourism sector, this applies to tourist vans, airport shuttles, travel buses, and vehicle fleets used by tour operators. CTPL is a requirement for LTO registration, so every tourism-related vehicle must have it. More importantly, it ensures that the tourists and locals are protected in case of road accidents. Last but not the least is war risk insurance. So unlike other types of insurance, War risk coverage is not standard in most packages. It specifically covers losses due to war, terrorism, civil unrest, or political violence. This is especially important for international airlines, global travel agencies, and tour groups entering high-risk regions. It protects both physical assets and human lives during travel in unstable areas. According to the International Air Transport Association or IATA, war risk insurance is mandatory for all commercial airlines. This ensures that passengers, crew, and cargo are covered, even in dangerous or conflict-prone zones. So while not common for local travel, this type of insurance becomes essential for international tourism operators or companies partnering with foreign agencies. So that's all for the topic chapter 14, the insurance laws. So before I end this video presentation, I will give you or leave you motivation quote, and this is from Jimmy Dean. So this is, I can change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails to always reach my destination. So this quote by Jimmy Dean reminds us that while we may not have control over life's challenges, we do have the power to choose how we respond, like a sailor adjusting their sails. We can adapt our mindsets and actions to stay on course. Even when the winds of life shift unexpectedly, it's a simple yet powerful reminder that resilience and flexibility are key to reaching our goals, no matter the obstacles. So that's all for this chapter again, and I hope you learned something from this video presentation. And again, this is Maria Ellen P. Onyot of BSHM 3A, and see you next to our video.